Hey folks, Elle here, and I am going to read about a very, very cold case. Not even a little cold, it's like frozen. I can't imagine they're doing much work on this case anymore. It's from 1988, and the little girl went missing outside of a 7-Eleven in Hawaii, Oahu, I believe. She was selling tickets, and I'll show you a picture of her. I pulled one up. No, let's get rid of that. She was just little. I think she was 12 years old. And the last time she was seen, I believe it was outside of a 7-Eleven. She had actually been going door to door selling tickets. So who knows who saw her? Who knows who decided to follow her? She disappeared and never came back. There are very, very few leads in this case. One was a homeless man who they thought perhaps was the person of interest. And he told them where he hid the body, and they went and looked, and they never found the body. So they don't know if he's just like trying to get, they thought he was mentally ill, this person. So they didn't know if he was just saying things to get attention, or that was kind of, it sounds like he's been written. There's other like weird rumors that maybe a China government official got her, or a man in a Chevrolet that she may have gotten in a car, but they've checked all these and nothing's really panned out that they can find. So we're just going to ask some real basic questions. One of you asked me to read on her, which is why I'm doing it. I believe it was Cheryl, I want to say, if I'm remembering your name right. And if I'm not, forgive me. So let me just lay out some cards here, and we're going to see, we are going to ask what happened. We're going to ask about her current physical state, because the police are saying they do think she has passed. So, when they're saying that, obviously, after all these years, some people are going to believe she is. Um, the sad thing is, there's like information from her mom saying she still hopes she'll come home one day. And I think she didn't, let me get that a little better. Her mom didn't change her phone number all these years because she hopes that one day she'll call. And it's it's terrible to just have your kid disappear and there'll be no answers. We'll see what the cards can tell us about it. And we'll ask for a closest noticeable landmark. We'll ask for things like that. So let's just go ahead and start reading. I'm going to ask, I really want to know if this was a stranger or somebody she knew. We think stranger. I think stranger. It sounds like a lot of people think stranger, but you just never know. So let me ask about, first of all, and her name is pronounced Jizuli, I think. Jizuli. She went missing in February 1988, 12 years old. All right, let me just concentrate on her for a second. Jizuli. And was this an abduction by a stranger? Tell me about this being an abduction by a stranger. Got something right up here. Let's see what we get. This is not my normal reading table, and it feels really weird. Easily abduction by a stranger. Yeah, it's that one. This was like a, people combating, and it looks like she tried to fight her way away, and it's kind of a sad card, really, because it looks like she tried to go in another direction and tried to get kind of away from him, but it looks like she couldn't. I do feel it was a stranger. We will ask if it was somebody she knew, but from that card, it feels like it was a stranger. It's a group of boys too, so that makes you wonder too in that card. Let me ask about someone she knew. Somebody she knew. I mean, they investigated all the clues and they found nothing in this case. Someone she knew. Well, it's so This is bizarre. Sometimes tarot can really be interesting, and this is one of the situations because right away when I pulled this card, it jumped out at me that one of these people has a ticket in their pocket. And so, do you see that person with a ticket in their pocket? I feel like this person bought a ticket from her. I don't know if there was some recording in any way of who bought tickets, but I think this person bought a ticket from her when she was out selling tickets. I truly do. I think the person bought a ticket from her and was being very helpful and kind, acting very kind and helpful and like giving her the money for the ticket. I think this is somebody who bought a ticket from her. In which case, what houses did she go to? Did she tell her mom where she was going to go, what street she was going to sell on? It sounds like it's right in that immediate area. Unless it was outside of the store, which it could have just been somebody that stopped out of the store. But let's ask if the person lived in that immediate area. That's what I'm starting to think. And by immediate area, you have to be literal with tarot. I'm going to say within a mile of where she was selling tickets. If they lived within a mile of where she was selling tickets. Jeez Louise. The person who abducted her lived within a mile where she was selling tickets. Yeah, it's so weird that we got that card with the person with the ticket in their pocket. What's the likelihood of that? Did the person live within a mile? Tell me about that. This is like you have to go through kind of, was there any sort of like woods, across the woods or park or something that you had to go through, fence, like some kind of barrier that you would have had to go through to get to this person's house? I see their house there. It just looks like it's a little further. A little further. Let me ask if the person was at the store that day. It's too bad because there's not cameras, in that day and age. I mean, nowadays there'd be cameras. Let's ask if the person visited the store that day. And was it in the 7-Eleven like parking lot? Did the person visit the 7-Eleven? Did she? Let's just ask if she disappeared from around the 7-Eleven. She disappeared from around the 7-Eleven. I'm wondering if she went up to somebody's house and they just tricked her. Did she disappear from around the 7-Eleven? Yeah, I think so. And again, I have that whole like somebody like taking advantage, overpowering. This person, if you look at their face in this card, this is the 5 of Swords. They look like they're enjoying hurting those other people. Like they look like they've enjoyed what they've done. And it looks like this person was kind of that sadistic, like opportunistic person who saw the opportunity and took it, is what I'm getting. Oh, I do think they bought a ticket from her too. That's how they pretended to like get her maybe close to the car or what have you. Well, they never found really anything beyond that, and it's not like it's in the computer age where we would have like a direct, link to some website where she's selling tickets. And they're adding people's names. I mean, it's not going to be there. It's not fair. All right. I want to know more about the person who took her. So tell me more about this person who took her. Tell me more about the person who took Jesus Lee. More about the person who took her. I am showing she disappeared by the 7-Eleven. So the person kind of befriended her, act like they were going to help her. We saw that in the 6 of Pentacles, and then the person totally took advantage of her. So this is a 2 of Wands, and that's a card with a world, and that actually is somebody who's putting plans into place. So it's possible the girl went to their house. I'm just throwing this out there as a possibility, sold a ticket to them, and then the person started making plans about, hey, I could go get that little girl. I mean, that is a possibility. We're going to find out if she's alive. From that Five of Swords, I kind of don't think so. But let's ask, because, there are people who steal kids and raise them as their own. And as the kids get older, they don't kind of remember, or the person could say, your family couldn't afford you. You had to come live with me. I'm your aunt or whatever. Let me ask about her current physical state. So I'm asking about the body that Jizu Lee, I think that's how you say her name, was in when she was on Earth. And if she's still on Earth, I want to know that she's still breathing and in occupying a body. But if not, I also want to know that too, if she's in spirit. And the cards that would show me would be like a death card or just cards along those lines that would let me know that she's no longer walking in a physical body on Earth, breathing, warm body, that kind of thing. All right, let's see what we have. Jizuli, 12-year-old girl, Jizuli. Current physical state. Well, that is the Queen of Swords. Interesting card to get because I think was it Isabella Kaluuya's reading, I got a card like this, and a lot of people were saying it reminded them of, I think it's called Pele's Chair or something of that nature. And sometimes when I get a card that's like another card that's in a similar reading, like another little girl that disappeared in Hawaii, it's referring me back to like what happened in that case. And I kind of think that is the situation here. It's like her current physical state is the same as Isabel Kaluuya's is what I'm taking from that. I will, so interesting the way they show me things. I will just ask for another clarification card on that, just so we can know for sure if I'm interpreting that correctly. Current physical state for Jizuli. Current physical state for Jizuli. Current physical state for Jizuli. I feel like I'm getting like two cards here, actually. Well, that's the Three of Swords, the heartbreak card. And that's sad because I know there was a lot of heartbreak. Not good. Not a good situation when you get all these swords, too. And then the Ten of Pentacles. Now, that's a family card. So that's like somebody passing things down through the family. It's like an inheritance card. Can often stand for family property. I have gotten this card before when the person is on that person's property, on their own property. So it's interesting. Pull this card out too, just because this reading has given us so many interesting things. This little girl down here, it's a Ten of Pentacles. It does look like a little Asian girl, I swear it does. She looks so cute. It's a really, really cute card. This is a card of patriarchy. It is possible that she's on a family property. When I get this card, I've gotten it several times. It's meant that. I would look. Well, I don't know. They don't know who the person is. All right. Any more clues on who this person is? Ugh. It sounds like it went similar to Isabella Kaluuya. You know, I'm really being drawn right now to this child with wings around him, right there. If you look at this Queen of Swords card, that child in the middle has wings, and I'm very much being drawn to that child. So I do think she, you know, from what I'm seeing, she's passed with the heartbreak card there too. I don't like all the sharp objects I'm seeing because I see one here in Five of Swords, and then we've got one in this Queen of Swords, and then we've got one in the Three of, you know, the Three of Swords. It just, that worries me a little. Okay, let's ask where she can be found. Let's ask about the area, what it looks like, and then we're going to ask for a landmark. So tell me about, show me a card that's similar to the area. What does it look like? A card that best describes the area around her, around where her body is, where the body known as Jizuli has is. Where is it? What about the land around that body? Sometimes there's not much of a body left, but still there was a final resting place. So about that final resting place for Jizuli. Like this one. I feel more drawn to this one. This is the Ten of Cups. It's an evening card, as you can see. There is a lot of water in this card. And, you know, with Isabella Kalua, we also got something that alluded to possibly being put in water. It looks like, and there's mountains, I know in that area, mountains, and there is water. It looks like a place maybe out in a remote area. And then we did see something like possibly like property of maybe a great grandfather or grandfather or something of that nature, or buy it. But it looks like she's out pretty, I want to say pretty far in the wilderness. That's what it looks like to me. Hidden. And she just wasn't found. Hmm. I guess if it was private property, now I don't know what it's like there, how much property people own, or is it, you know, I have no clue. But if there's like an, do they grow things there? Could there be an orchard with some water going through it or something in that nature that might have been a relative? Or again, we don't know the person. It's not as helpful, you know, that's the tough thing. It's just not as helpful. I'll ask one more time for any information about this person that can come through today. Any information about the person that took Jizu Lee, this little girl. Any information about that person? Any information about the person that took Jizu Lee? Any information about the person that took Jizu Lee? Yeah. Again, you know, we get the Five of Swords form, we get the Seven of Swords form. This guy's sneaky. This guy, swords, so not good. Sharp objects. This guy, though, I think probably has a criminal record because he seems like he likes hurting people and he likes doing sneaky things. And I think he steals. I think he's got a criminal record for stealing, would be my guess. Looks like it. And he kidnapped her. You can see it in this card. This is a classic kidnapping card. Somebody taking things that aren't theirs and sneaking away with them. I would say this is not his first rodeo on this, meaning I don't know if he took another little girl. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I think he's got a history of doing things that are not his. So a history in the courts of stealing. That's what I feel. This guy looks 30 maybe. 20s. Hmm. All right. Closest. Well, we did we do closest landmark and we got no, this was what the area was like, and we got that 8 of cups with the water and the mountains and the land, which I'm sure describes a lot of Hawaii. But let me ask for the closest known landmark. So one that people around there would know that, yeah, this is what it is. I might not understand this card at all, but let me just concentrate on it for a few minutes. Choose with me. Closest known landmark to where her physical body is resting. Let's see what we've got. Closest physical landmark to where her body is resting. Closest physical landmark to where her body is resting. In my mind, I saw a very tall cliff, rock all the way down. See what the cards have to say. This is a card of somebody that you're familiar with. The person seems like a stranger to me that took her, but I do feel there is an element. See, we got that whole family thing before there. An element of place that people would know that is, how do I describe this? It's like it's possibly a home that was left to be like a museum or a tourist attraction or something like that. And I say that because we have this passing things down generationally card. And here we have giving to others. And in the back, there's like this, almost like a castle. And it looks like there's a guard walking back here. It's like generational family home or structure. It seems like a structure that the public can go in. That's what it seems to me, that was once owned by this family. And what's kind of jumping out at me, I want to say that's an I and a K back here. I don't know what that means, if that means anything to anybody, but I've never really noticed that, and I think it's just really the pictures on the window, but for whatever reason today they look like an I and a K. And usually when something jumps out at me like that, there's a reason for it. Again, I don't know any of the landmarks out there. I don't know what that could possibly be, but it looks like a place where people could actually visit. It's interesting that the two cards that I've got, like what's around there, and I know it's an island, it's going to have lots of water, are both cup cards, 8 of cups and 6 of cups, where it's going to be, you know, things. Well, this one said there was like a stream and stuff, and I did feel like it's property of somebody that's maybe the grandfather or something, left down generations, something like that. Again, I don't know the area. I really can't have any more input than that. It doesn't look good. What happened to her? It looks like this person was definitely a no good. Absolutely no good. And then lots of sharp objects throughout this, which is also no good. Well, I wish I had better news, but I don't, and I hope some of those things that came through are noticeable to somebody. I don't know, is there some older castle-like structure or older home, bigger home that people go and tour that this person may be a relative of? The person has a criminal record and the person bought a ticket from her. That's what I see. If it was in today's day and age, we'd be able to figure that out. But unfortunately, we're not. So it's a mystery, and it may remain a mystery, but I do see there were plans in place too, which she very well may have gone, sold a ticket to this person, the person followed her and kidnapped her. It's terrible. All right, that's as much as I'm getting from this one. Jizu Lee. Doesn't look like she's gonna come home from what I can see. All right, take care. Bye-bye.